Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Degree 3rd SEM Communication Skills mock question paper along with solutions. And this paper consists of two parts, part A and part B, and the total marks are 50 marks. You have 10 marks for your internal assessment and the remaining marks are 40 for this examination. So part A, there will be 4 questions and you have to answer any 2 questions. And the questions are like this. Question number 1, define communication. How many types of communication skills are there in English? Question number 2, explain any 2 strategies of effective reading. Question number 3, what is digital literacy? Explain with examples. Question number 4, what write about any 2 non-verbal communication skills. And part B also the same. There will be 4 questions given and you have to answer any 2 questions. Question number 5, how many types of listening are there? Explain their characteristics with examples. Question number 6, differentiate between accuracy and fluency. Briefly explain how one can achieve the qualities of confidence, clarity and fluency. Question number 7, write detailed notes on modulation, posture or personal appearance. Question number 8, what do you mean by nonverbal communication? Briefly explain its importance in professional life. Now we'll move on to the solutions or the answers. Solutions of part A. First question, define communication. How many types of communication skills are there in English? So, communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. In other words, talking or writing and listening or reading. Good communicators listen carefully, speak or write clearly, and respect different opinions. There are basically two types of communication. They are verbal communication. Verbal communication is the use of words to convey a message. It can be either oral or written. For example, speeches, lectures, letters, emails, etc. And the second type of communication is non-verbal communication. So, non-verbal communication skills are those related to body language such as eye contact, gestures, facial expressions, and vocal tone. Second question, explain any 2 strategies of effective reading comprehension. So, reading strategies help readers translate print to meaning. Strategies that improve decoding and reading comprehension skills benefit every learner but are essential for beginning readers and struggling readers. The general strategies for reading comprehension are skimming, scanning, using prior knowledge, previewing, predicting, identifying the main idea, summarization, questioning, making inferences, visualizing, story maps, retelling, etc. So, skimming is a strategic selective reading method in which you focus on the main ideas of a text. When skimming, deliberately the reader skips text that provides details, stories, data, or other elaboration. For example, reading the headlines of the newspaper. When you just skim through or browse through the text, it is called as skimming. So, when you don't want to waste your time on reading the entire text, you go for a skimming strategy. Strategy is nothing but a plan of action. So, they are asking you to write about any 2 strategies of effective reading comprehension. Then comes scanning. Scanning is a type of strategic reading when you want to locate any specific information. For example, looking up a word in the dictionary or reading timetables, railway schedules, catalogs, etc. So, this is about the 2 strategies. Third question, what is digital literacy? Explain with example. Digital literacy is the ability to navigate various digital or electronic platforms and understand, assess, and communicate through them. With digital literacy skills, students can move beyond a process oriented understanding of technology and apply digital resources creatively in their original work. These skills build upon the traditional concept of literacy and support students in using critical thinking skills. Example, email, social media sites, YouTube, etc. Nowadays, we all depend upon this digital literacy. The hard copies have come out of age and we are no more using the hard copies. Most of the time we are depending upon this digital literacy because everything is available at a click of a button. So entire world is in our hands. That is why the digital literacy is becoming more popular nowadays. Fourth question. Write about any two non-verbal communication skills. So a substantial portion of our communication is non-verbal. Experts have found that every day we respond to thousands of non-verbal cues and behaviors, including postures, facial expressions, eye gaze, gestures, and tone of voice. From our handshakes to our hairstyles, nonverbal details reveal who we are and impact how we relate to other people. And they want you to write about two nonverbal communication skills. The first one is facial expressions, which are responsible for a huge proportion of nonverbal communication. A lot of information can be conveyed with a smile or a frown. The look on a person's face is often the first thing we see, even before we hear what they have to say. While nonverbal communication and behavior can vary dramatically between cultures, the facial expressions for happiness, sadness, anger, and fear are similar throughout the world. And eye contact. Since the visual sense is dominant for most people, eye contact is an especially important type of nonverbal communication. The way you look at someone can communicate many things, including interest, affection, hostility, or attraction. So, looking at your eyes only, they can understand whether you are interested in their talk or whether you have affection towards them. Hostility means dislike or hatred. When you don't like, that is also shown through your eye contact. Question. Fifth one. This is from part B. Again, you have to answer only two questions out of four. So, fifth question. How many types of listening are there? Explain their characteristics with examples. Basically, there are two main types of listening. They are casual listening. This type of listening takes place when there is involuntary hearing. The listener is not interested in the act of listening and does not make sense out of listening. Means casually, suppose somebody is playing a music in your neighborhood and you don't like that song or you don't want to pay attention, but the sound enters into your system. That means only hearing takes place. This is casual listening. The second one is focused listening. This type of listening takes place when the listener pays complete attention and tries to understand what is being listened to. That means there is a focused attention. Every word is trying, the listener tries to understand. So, based on the above types of listening, they are further classified into informational listening, where listening to learn, critical listening, where listening takes place to evaluate and analyze, therapeutic or empathetic listening, where listening takes place to understand feelings and emotions. That is the fifth question. Next, we move on to the sixth question. Differentiate between accuracy and fluency. Briefly explain how one can achieve the qualities of confidence, clarity, and fluency. So, accuracy refers to the production of grammatically correct spoken or written language, and fluency refers to the ability to speak or write without any pauses or gap fillers. So, confidence allows public speakers to speak with clarity. When you are calm and focused, you can manage your thoughts better. Confidence also helps speakers speak slowly so they are well understood and answer audience questions like a pro, that means like experts. To achieve the qualities of confidence, clarity, and fluency, one has to keep the language short and simple, begin using a dictionary or a digital dictionary to build vocabulary, Then start watching celebrity interviews, movies, and videos in English and practice speaking every day. So, practice makes man perfect. So, anywhere, practice is the most important thing one has to experience. So, with practice only, one can get confidence, clarity, and fluency. Move on to the next question. Write detailed notes on modulation, posture, or personal appearance. So, voice modulation means the fine tuning of the pitch or tone of voice that helps the audience clearly hear and understand the lecture, presentation, and speech delivered by a speaker. It is very important, especially in public speaking. Posture, the way you stand. Posture conveys information about interpersonal relations. Personality traits such as confidence, submissiveness, and openness are very clearly shown with the way you stand. Sometimes people stand with folded hands or bending to one side or stooping down, which shows lack of confidence. So when you stand straight, that means you are very confident. So, in humans, one of the means of communication is the posture of the body, in addition to facial expressions, personal distances, gestures, and body movements. Then comes personal appearance. So, our choice of color, clothing, hairstyles, and other factors affecting appearance are also considered a means of non-verbal communication. And according to what people see when they first set their eyes on you, judgments about your personality and abilities are going to be concluded. So, personal appearance makes a lot of difference. So, we have to be presentable. And the last question, what do you mean by non-verbal communication? Briefly explain its importance in professional life. Already I have explained, but I'll repeat. So, successful interactions at work depend on both managers and their team's ability to use and read body language. Nonverbal communication in the workplace can indicate your understanding of directions, project goals, or assignments from your supervisor or co workers. In a meeting, a simple nod of your head can indicate that you agree with a comment made by a coworker or accept an assignment from your supervisor. A substantial portion of our communication is nonverbal. Experts have found that every day we respond to thousands of nonverbal cues and behaviors, including postures, facial expressions, eye gaze, gestures, and tone of voice. From our handshakes to our hairstyles, nonverbal details reveal who we are and impact how we relate to other people. And facial expressions are responsible for a huge proportion of nonverbal communication. A lot of information can be conveyed with a smile or a frown. The look on a person's face is often the first thing we see, even before we hear what they have to say. While nonverbal communication and behavior can vary dramatically between cultures, the facial expressions for happiness, sadness, anger, and fear are similar throughout the world. Since the visual sense is dominant for most people, eye contact is also an especially important type of nonverbal communication. The way you look at someone can communicate many things, including your interest, your affection, your hostility, or attraction. So, that is about your mock paper, students. All the very best for your examination. And if you found this tutorial made sense to you, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Now take care. Let's meet up in the next video.